Hello, and welcome to Christine Church's Perfect Diaper Boot for horses that have lost a shoe. If your horse loses a shoe, then you're going to want to keep the hoof protected until your farrier can come and tack the shoe back on. And this boot should last 2 or 3 days. Now, your first step, as you can see here, is to clean your hoof completely. You want to make sure that you use the back end of the hoof brush or a stiff brush and get all the dirt off and make sure the hoof is dry. That's the most important part. You don't want a wet hoof stuck inside diapers and duct tape. And you can use any kind of duct tape you want, but make sure it sticks good, and a good premium diaper. Size 6 is good for a larger horse. Something big. You're going to want to take the first diaper out and open it up completely. And you should get the type of diapers that have tabs on them. Because the way you're going to put it on is you're going to open it up and the fold of the diaper will go on your horse's toe. Now, here what I'm doing is taking off pieces of duct tape in advance because you're going to want these handy. Now, I hang them here on my horse's blanket. It's winter, so he has his blanket on. If it's in the summer, I hang them off his legs. He doesn't mind. But if your horse does mind, then, you can stick them somewhere nearby on a stall or the wall, whatever you want. After I clean his foot, I open up the diaper. There it is there. And you want to make sure that you open it completely, including the tab. Okay? And you see where that little, crease is right in the middle there. Your horse's toe will go right into that crease. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take the tabs and wrap them around the horse's fetlock. That way there, and then you'll use the tabs that are naturally there. And that'll help keep it on. You haven't even got any duct tape on there yet, but it will hold on because you've wrapped the tabs around the fetlock. And obviously this isn't all you do. But then you take one of your pieces of duct tape, and the first piece of duct tape that you use will go around the bulbs of the heel. Now here, I put a towel down because I like to kneel on the floor to do this. And the cement hurts the knees. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to put on the first piece of duct tape, which will go on the bulb of the heel to hold the one side of the diaper to the other side of the diaper. But you don't want the duct tape to actually be touching the horse's hoof itself. You just want to be able to get it around the heel so that the diaper itself just holds on. If you want to put a piece like kind of all the way around, you can. Just make sure you do not put a piece of duct tape around the fetlock ever. The last thing you want to do ever is to cut off circulation on the horse's hoof, in the horse's hoof. So you want to keep, as you can see, the where I put the duct tape there, it's just around the bulb, the top part of the bulbs of the heel. And your second piece of, and I usually just take 2 to begin with, like I have here. And your second piece of duct tape will go around from the top of one side of the hoof, and it'll pull the diaper down and then go around the bottom and then up over, so that it'll actually keep the diaper on the hoof itself. And you want to brush any dirt off. I'm a stickler about that, making sure there's no dirt in there whatsoever. I also want you to see where I put the duct tape. I use 3 diapers because, my horse has navicular and he needs that extra padding on his heel. If your horse doesn't need that extra padding, you're welcome to use 2 diapers. and you want a lot of duct tape because, you know, we want something that's going to last a couple of days. Sweep the area around you, around the horse's foot, because if he keeps putting his foot down like my horse does, you're just gonna keep having to wipe the hay off or whatever. So I mean, here what I do is I sweep after he's already started, but you know, he doesn't care. But you might want to, you know, be a little smarter than I was in this and sweep first before you even put the horse in that spot, especially if you have a horse that doesn't like a broom going around his feet, which he doesn't care. He'll move his feet or whatever. That's a good shot of the diaper, and you know, I only have the one diaper on there so far, and it's only held on by 3 pieces of duct tape so far. And it's on there good. I mean, he could walk around and it's not going to fall off. It's obviously not going to last if he were to go outside. And then after that, we put a lot of other duct tape on to hold that piece together. Now, we want to get, there's a couple of very important aspects here, a couple of very important rules. One of them is, and this is extremely important, is that you don't want the duct tape to be too tight or too high above the horse's heel. In this video, I already put the second diaper on, which is underneath, is just kept folded in half. I don't unfold it like I'm doing here. And I duct taped it on the bottom of his foot, especially on his heel, so that he would have that extra padding on the heel. As you can see with the navicular shoe on his other foot, he needs his heel lifted up. So I'm actually, you know, putting a therapeutic boot on him by making it on my own. Now the toe area, which is, the toe area breaks through first on these boots. So you want to put the most padding and the most duct tape on the toe area. You know, and you want to make sure that there's plenty of duct tape around the hoof area, you know, just from the coronet band down. And then the second diaper, just like the first one, and if you have a horse that doesn't need the third diaper, you can just use the 2 like I have here. And you can see now there's a good video of me hooking the diaper around the fetlock using the tabs of the diaper. And that makes it so much easier to, you know, to get it on, and that will stay on even if he moves around. See, that will stay on him even before I put the duct tape on. And then again, we're going to want to pull off pieces of duct tape, and we're going to want to tape that on very securely, making sure that we never tape tight anywhere above the coronet band or the bulb of the heel, because you just, that area is sensitive, and you need circulation to the hoof. That's vitally important. So once again, we're going to do the same thing that we did with the first one. When I put on the second one was just like I said, it was still folded, and it was just duct taped to the bottom of his foot. And here, as you can see, the feathers are clear. You want to keep the feathers clear. You want plenty of room. See there how it squishes? There's plenty of room inside the boot. You know, this is not cutting off the horse's circulation in the least. And that's what you want. You want to make sure that it's tight so it doesn't fall off. But you also want to make sure that it's going to be comfortable as well as safe for your horse. And that's the key. That's the key right there. I know this seems like a lot, but really once you've done it a few times, it's easy, it's quick, it's very inexpensive. One package of diapers is like $8, and it'll last you. You could probably make, you know, quite a few boots with that, and a big roll of duct tape. Those virtually last forever. So, you know, don't be stingy with the duct tape. I've also used vet wrap to help give a little bit of, some material-like substance around the toe. Because like I said, the toe can break through. Before anything else, the toe will break through. And it'll wear the bottom of the hoof. It will wear down. So you want to make sure that there's a lot of protection over the toe. And the first thing I usually do is what I'm doing right here is I put it across the toe like that. Okay, right like that. So that, and that's just the start. That is the first piece where I start with the getting the toe to have its reinforcement. And then the second one, I will show you in a second here, how I reinforce the toe with the second one. And I keep doing this. I mean, this is something that I don't do just once or twice. There, you can see I have one that goes crosswise and one that goes lengthwise. And this isn't something that I do. I go over and over. I probably put maybe about 10 layers of duct tape just over the toe and the bottom of the foot. The rest of it gets less as long as it can hold onto the foot. But anyway, when you're all done, you will have a foot that's wrapped up very nicely. And like I said, there's a lot of duct tape on that foot, plus 3 diapers. The whole thing probably cost me maybe $5 or $6, if that, to make that one boot. There's plenty of room, as you can see, where the circulation is. So you don't have to worry about cutting off the horse's circulation. If you're done with it and you find that it feels a little too tight, you can always take a pair of scissors and just put a little cut from, the top of it. Be careful not to cut your horse. And just put a little slice just to open it up a little bit. But, that's it when it's done. It covers his heels really nice. There's a lot of padding. The bottom of it is nice and flat so that when he goes outside, he'll be able to move around as if he had a shoe on or any kind of a boot. And it will protect his foot. He was outside all day today, last night, all day today with that boot on. And as long as it's not too wet outside, he still got it on. It's still lasting. That boot should last 2 or 3 days. So, it's not meant to be a permanent solution. It's not meant to, last forever. It's only meant to last 2 or 3 days until your farrier can come. And if the boot gets wet or a lot of dirt or anything like that gets inside of it, take it off. Clean the hoof and do it over again. Because the last thing you want is, for irritants to get inside and to stay that way. So that's another reason why I never recommend leaving these on more than 2 or 3 days. If the horse is inside, they last longer. But if he's going outside, and that's kind of the purpose of this, is so that he doesn't rip his hoof up while he's outside if he hits rocks. And, and they it's comfortable. It's comfortable and it'll keep the hoof protected. And in the end, to make sure you give your horse a treat so that they view it as a positive experience. You always want everything to be a positive experience. And there you go. There's your boot. Your horse has had his treats. He's happy. You're happy. And your farrier will be happy that you didn't break up the horse's hoof by not putting anything on to protect it.